An API stands for Application Programming Interface. All this really means is an application is running on a server which allows you to write a program to talk to that other program. This means two programs are able to talk to each other. This is different from, say, a user interface where the UI, such as YouTube's app, is interfacing with you as a person where you're tapping on the screen. However, even the YouTube app uses an API to communicate to Google's backend servers in order to populate all the information you see. So you can see videos, you can see comments. It uses an API in order to do all that. APIs expose a lot of information, so there's quite a bit. So they need to be documented very well, and you can pick and choose what information you use. An API also hides how it really handles all this information underneath. So you don't need to know everything that's happening. Take, for example, a car steering wheel. You don't need to actually know what happens underneath within the car, such as the power steering and everything. You just need to know that if you turn left, the car turns left. If you turn right, the car turns right. It's the same thing with an API. In order for us to use an API, it has to be documented very well. And Google has a lot of documentation on YouTube's API. Here's the main page for Google's YouTube documentation. And we can just go over to YouTube data. And here we can see lots of different information about how to access the YouTube data API. So we're mainly interested in the videos API. And here we can go to reference and then go down to videos. So the first thing we want to do is look at a list of videos for us. The first part, we want to get the statistics, and then we're getting a specific video ID, and this is just a different video that I'm using, and we're going to use the OAuth authentication. This is a whole nother area that we're not going to cover in this video. This is just for requesting information from the API. You need to authenticate. So once we authenticate, then we can get information, and you can see that our view count is 27 on this example. So now what we want to do is we want to take that view count and we want to update the title. So now we want to go over to the update endpoint, and we will use snippet. And then for ID, we do this. And then we'll use snippet. Now we're going to update the title. So now we got an error. So let's see what that says. Invalid category ID. So if we try snippet, so we know category ID is 22. Let's pass that in. Now let's see if this works. 200 means HTTP OK. So that means it should have updated the title for. And there it is. The video has 27 views. So that's great. We can do everything from the YouTube data API using the API Explorer. If we want to do this within a programming language, I'll show a quick example of how I did this using Golang. This is kind of complicated and there's a lot of different areas like authentication, but the main area that we use here is to create a YouTube service. We do a list, which is what we just did on the web page, and then we determine which video to return. And then in the update part, I'm just passing in the title that I want to change it to. So I basically get the video, and then change the title here. And then this is the actual update call. And the authentication piece is done with this part. And this could be a whole nother video of how to use OAuth tokens. And that's pretty much it for using the YouTube data API. Be sure to comment down below if you have any questions, if you'd like any other kind of videos on topics like this. Thank you.